How is everybody today? Thank you for joining me. Another episode of Live Coding with me, Matt Groves. This is episode 35, and we're going to just kind of pick up where we left off. Learned a lot in the last stream. We're going to try to make more progress today, but I'll be working on ASP.NET Core microservice, kind of just like a basic getting started kind of a path, and I'm learning along the way here. I don't know all the answers to this yet. So an ASP.NET Core microservice, and the idea is we're going to develop this locally using Docker Compose to deploy to containers, and we'll also be using Couchbase as the database for that microservice. And eventually, well, we'll talk about my goals with this eventually. But before we get started here, let's just kick off with my motto here of this stream is that the only stupid question is the one you do not ask. So if you have a question, don't worry about if it's too simple, if you're going to look foolish asking it, you're worried what people think because you don't know something. I'm not going to have any of that in here. So ask a question, ask away, no matter how simple you think it is, how obvious you think it is. If you don't know it, you want to know more about it, ask away. You should not be afraid to ask questions in this channel. All right, Team Live Coders. So I don't know if you can tell from this picture here, but I'm first time wearing my Team Live Coders jersey. So you can learn more about this team here. Let's do a quick plug here. But basically our team captain, team coach, I don't know what you call him, C# Fritz, got us a bunch of these nice jerseys, and they have my Twitch name and number on the back. I don't know if I can turn around and show you this or not. Let's see if this will work. There's my chair there. Well, I can't see the camera, but hopefully you can see that. It's Matthew D. Groves and number 17 on the back there. But we're all part of this, the Live Coders team on Twitch. You can see lots of people here who are currently live coding. Very busy this afternoon. Hey, it's Calvin, Alan. Thanks for stopping in. Just never change your channel name. Well, you know, I kind of want it to be M. Groves, but that's taken. I don't know how I can go about doing that. So Matthew D. Groves is fine for now. And if I need to get a new jersey, no big deal. But thanks for stopping by, Calvin. If you want to check out live coding, this is a great place to start. 82 different people part of this team that are streaming live code stuff, different time zones, different areas of interest. So check that out. Twitch.tv/team/livecoders. I'm also listed on this awesome developers streaming list, which is not a Twitch team, but this is just a listing of, the bot should be working, Calvin, if you want to check it out there. The bang help command that'll whisper you some help. Need a bang live coders? What is that going to do? Because I could add that to my list of suggestions. But awesome developer streaming list. This is a text file essentially that lists developers who stream live coding, much like this. It's not just for Twitch. It's for output the team information, link, etc. Oh, okay. Yeah, I guess I could do that. Let me add that to the list here. Add a live coders command to, announce, to plug team information. And maybe we can add an awesome dev command to plug GitHub information. Sure, those are easy enough to do. Although we're getting to the point, Calvin, where commands like that, those probably could be very data-driven because they're not really doing much, just spouting out text. So I don't know, might want to think about genericizing that. But anyway, that's for another day. Awesome developer streams list. This is a list of people who are streaming on Twitch, on YouTube, Facebook, Mixer, wherever people want to stream. And this is a great listing because you can see all the different subjects that people are streaming about. So if you look under yours truly, maybe it's under Matt Groves, there I am. I generally talk about databases, back-end stuff. I work for Couchbase, so SQL, NoSQL, SQL++. I do a lot of ASP.NET, C#, and occasionally I do some other stuff. Maybe I should update this because I haven't done soldering in a while, and most of the podcasting happens on Calvin's channel there. Let's give Calvin a shout out. Calvin A. Allen. Shout him out. Calvin is the greatest. And I haven't done any VR on the stream yet. I think I did maybe one test stream. So These are things I want to do, just haven't got around to it yet. So anyway, check this out. You can find whatever subject you're interested in, whatever language you're interested in, framework, whatever, and check that out there at Awesome Developers. That's github/bnb/awesome developer streams. All right, what else? Yeah, skipped ahead a little bit here. Yes, GrovesTube, bit.ly/GrovesTube. You can go there and check out my archive of past episodes. Not only on live coding, but other stuff I do, you know, the games and things like that, adventure games. I'll stream from time to time. bit.ly/GrovesTube. You can go check that out there on YouTube. You know, hit that subscribe button or whatever while you're there. I would appreciate that. But if you just want to go check out all the episodes, you can go to that URL anytime. It's also at the bottom of the screen there. Smash that like button. That's right. What's up, guys? Welcome to my YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Hit subscribe, etc., etc. That's my impression of every video my kids watch on YouTube. If you get 10,000 likes, we're going to do something crazy in the next stream. Something like that. All right, TwitchBot is on, and right now I think this is the current project still. I don't think I changed it since last time. Bang, current project. Yep, same thing. So that's the project I'm currently working on, just kind of trying to figure out the whole deploying a microservice to Docker compose locally and then eventually deploy it to Kubernetes later. That's sort of my goal here. And the microservice I eventually want to deploy is the Twitch chatbot, which I'm using right now, just running locally on my own computer, a database here on my desktop. I'd like to move that to Kubernetes, AKS, eventually. Okay, something else to plug here. This is going to be plugging this for a while, for probably the rest of the year. Well, maybe, we'll see. But it's the C# Advent. If you like C#, if you like creating content, Calvin, will that be using multiple Docker containers in Kubernetes? When I get to that point, yes, absolutely. Multiple Docker images, I believe. Because in Kubernetes, they run in what are called pods. So there'll be multiple pods. Yes, one for the bot, ASP.NET, and at least one for the database, maybe multiple for the database. That's the eventual goal. Right now, locally, it just need to have one image for the ASP.NET and one image for Couchbase. We're not going to do any crazy stuff with scaling locally. Docker and Kubernetes is way out of my wheelhouse. You know, to me as well, you know, I know enough Docker to kind of get by day to day. I don't know enough Kubernetes. That's what I want to do. I want to get there. That's the whole point of this. So anyway, C# Advent. You can sign up now. Anyone can sign up for this. If you want to create some content for C#, sign up, pick a day, and then every day in December 1st to December 25th, you will be launching that content. So it'll be 25 days straight of C# content for the whole world to see. This usually gets a lot of traffic and a lot of attention on these blog posts, and it's so much fun to do. You know, I'm a big fan of blogging, I'm a big fan of C#, and I think we need more of both. So this is something that I've done. This is the third year now. So if you want to sign up, you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to be, you know, have your own blog or anything like that. You want to make a video, you want to post to dev.to or Hacker Noon or whatever, that's fine. It's all fine. But check it out there. This is a URL that Calvin was actually nice enough to provide. It's csadvent.christmas. And this is the longer version of it here. I'll just paste it into the channel for the sake of it. That's my own blog, crosscuttingconcerns.com, the third annual C# Advent. Maybe next year we'll switch over to a dedicated website for this. You know, this seems to be pretty popular. A lot of people are interested in this. A lot of people are invested in it. So might just spin it off into its own website. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we can genericize it and allow people to create their own advents of any kind. I don't know. That's for next year. That's next year, Matt's problem. Okay. So here is the meat. This is kind of what I've been saying. I want to eventually deploy my TwitchBot, Matt's TwitchBot, to Kubernetes, probably AKS. That's the Azure Kubernetes service. But first, I need a process to develop it locally. So I'm developing Docker images, well, a Docker image locally, mainly. I'm going to try to use Couchbase image pretty much as it is. We'll see about that. And so I've consulted with top experts, that being Brand Purnett, who does this all the time, does this every day. I think Docker Compose is what I'm going to use locally. We did this last time. So I want to deploy ASP.NET Core, Couchbase Server into Docker Compose locally. And this is going to get me into AKS. It's also going to allow me to, once I get to that point, try out some crazy eventing SignalR stuff that I've been hoping I'll be able to get to. I've already put SignalR in the bot. In fact, if you hit one of the sound effect commands, you're gonna hear SignalR in action. But there's some much cooler stuff we can do with SignalR. So I want to get to that. Thank you, Calvin. Thank you for that example. So yeah, I added your suggestions here. We'll maybe get to those. But what we're going to do now is I'm just going to go to Visual. Actually, let me go Visual Studio Code. And I don't know if this is going to be a blog post or tutorial or both, but I've just kind of be a little more formal about how I'm writing down the steps that I'm going through as I go through them so I don't forget. Because I did this a few weeks ago, I believe, or a week and a half ago, and I don't remember many of the steps. So I want to go ahead and go through it again and write them down as I go, and maybe I'll turn this into a tutorial at some point. We'll see. So we're going to go to Visual Studio. I'm not going to work on the Twitch bot for this example because the Twitch bot has a few complicated things in it, like background processing and SignalR and things like that. And I just want to get started with a really simple example first, and then we can build upon that with the Twitch bot. Plus, this also allows me to run the Twitch bot as I'm doing this on the stream. So let's do a new project. ASP.NET Core web application. Yes, right there. This is Visual Studio 2019. Latest version, by the way, 16.3.3, I believe. Just came out recently. Zproj, and I'm going to call it, last time I called it Hello Microservice. So let's stick with that name. So just step one is I'm create a new ASP.NET Core project. And it's, yes, Web Application Model View Controller. Web Application MVC for that. Not terribly important, but I want to do that. Going to configure for HTTPS, and I believe enable Docker support. I think that's what I want there. So, let me just make a note here. Web application MVC, some sub-steps here. Enable HTTPS, enable Docker support. Okay, and Linux is fine. It's fine. All right, so now I've got this project here in Visual Studio. Very simple, just hello world project. I could run this locally, and why don't we just go ahead and do that? Just to show you that this is a working ASP.NET application. Nothing special going on here. Oh, it's still catching up. Going a little too fast. Oh, it's running it in Docker. Okay, it was IIS, but then it must have switched over to Docker when I wasn't paying attention. So is that actually running in Docker? Shouldn't it pop up a web browser? Yeah, there it is. The old cranky Borg. So it's not really what I want. I was just going to open it up in IIS. Just to show you that it's a plain old ASP.NET Core application. Nothing special. Okay, there we go. So, just a simple app, there's a privacy notification, blah, blah, blah. Nothing special going on there. Okay. And I will end IIS. Yes. Okay, great. So the next step, if I can remember how to do this, was to add, no, it was here. So right click on the project, And we're going to add container orchestrator support. Okay, so right click on project, add container orchestrator, what was it? Container orchestrator support? Something like that. Add container orchestrator support. Yep, and I'm going to select Docker Compose. Now you might be confused, and I'm a little confused actually, why I would choose Docker Compose instead of Kubernetes Helm. But this is what Brant suggested, so I'm going to go with that for now. Always come back and change it up later. So there we go, Docker Compose. Target OS is Linux. Okay, this creates a Docker Compose file, which just has ASP.NET Microservice in it. So when I hit save, it actually goes ahead and builds that stuff, and there it is. Now it should be. Let's see. Does it say? So there's no port. There's no port number listed there, but it looks like it's 55486. Okay, that's not doing anything. I kind of remember having this question last time. Okay, so I think what I need to do now is go to this gist that Brant sent me here and put this kind of thing in here. So I don't see a port number there either. It was in, wasn't it in Docker Compose override, right? Yeah, there it is. Calvin says there's a port range in one of those. What does that mean? There's a port range in one of those. For the Couchbase UI. Right, I'm not even to Couchbase yet. I'm just trying to get the ASP.NET application to show up in the browser here. Go back to the gist. There it is. Right, yeah, I haven't added this part in yet. I'm just looking at this part. Ignoring this depends on environment stuff for now. I just want this service to come up. Right, but wouldn't it be the same concept? Right, so it's already here in the Docker Compose file, this hello microservice thing. It's already there. So maybe last time, maybe I needed to build or something like that. Okay, so Docker PS, there it is. All right. Four, 3. Okay, this one. See, it's not. And I think I had this problem. I needed to go back and watch the video. See what I figured it out last time. Why this wasn't coming up. Hello, microservice dev. Yep. Like it seems like that should do it. Control F5. Did I do that last time? Maybe that's what it was. I didn't actually hit Control F5. I just compiled Okay, I think that's what it was. Yep, there we go. So it shows up there. Okay, so let me just make a note of that. At this point, you can hit Control F5 to run the basic ASP.NET Core application inside of Docker. Okay, now we're going to add Couchbase to the Docker Compose YAML file. Oh, I should probably note that over here in Solution Explorer, a Docker Compose project appears. Note Docker Compose that has been added to your solution. Okay, so we're going to add Docker Compose. Now, what Brant has given me is how to use it with this space image here, which I may or may not want to use, but let's just do it for now. So in here, we're going to put, I'm not going to hit save. That's going to be hard for me to remember not to do that. Okay. So this volume and the startup thing, I want to come back to the volumes, I think. And the other thing I want to do, so let's, okay, and then we want to update the ASP.NET. You know, I probably should make a note here. I called it Hello Microservice. Why does some stuff go into Docker Compose and the other stuff in Docker Compose override? That is a good question. I think Brant explained this to me. I don't know. Possibly because this may be stuff you only want to change locally and you don't want to actually commit this into your repo. If we look at the Docker ignore, maybe that'll give us an idea. All right, so I don't see Docker Compose override in here. So I could be wrong about that. Yeah, I don't really know for sure, Calvin. I know that Visual Studio creates it. Oh, I do think I'm in the wrong place, though. This needs to go up here in the Docker Compose, not the override, according to what Brant gave me. Wouldn't Couchbase go in the base? Yes, you're right. I made a mistake. So he had the override here. Oh, even got notes here. So this file, the override, applies override values that are added to the values in the first file when run in Visual Studio. The idea is that you might use Docker Compose up on the command line for the first file for testing outside Visual Studio. Okay. Make sense? Again, he's way ahead of me on this, so I'm not exactly sure when or why that situation would be, but that maybe helps there. Okay, so Couchbase goes in the base. This volume, and I also want to add another volume here, actually, and this is something. Did I put it in here? No, I didn't. It's a tweet that I asked Brant earlier today because I knew I'd be doing this. What did he do? Where did he? Yeah, here it is. So I'm going to paste this in my notes as well down here. So this is the tweet, and I asked him what volume to use for Couchbase, and so opt Couchbase var is what I want to use there. So this is going to be the volume for Couchbase data. Yeah, that's it. So the deal with the volume in Docker, and I think I understand this more than I have previously. But if you name a volume like this, then it doesn't matter if that image when that image is stopped, is removed, goes away, and starts back up, it's going to look for this volume of some files it's saved to some Docker place, and it's going to try to mount that volume. So instead of starting over with a brand new database every time, it's going to look at the data, look at this volume, and that's different from database to database, right? Yes, a shared volume. Calvin has said it much more eloquently than I have. A shared volume to store the data so it can persist across runs. Yes. Now, from Brandt's point of view, he doesn't necessarily want to do that. He wants to be a brand new database every time, but because he's actually got some things in his base image to generate fake data each time. Can you explain the first entry with the colon startup? Yes, this is something to do with Brandt's image. So you can put config files in here, which I may not want to do, but you can put in some config files to say, okay, create this kind of Couchbase cluster, create a bucket, put some fake data in it, give it a certain permissions, indexes, full text search indexes, things like that. And I don't know if I necessarily want to do that. It's very, very helpful, obviously, for him and his team, and probably for other people. From my point of view, when I'm just the colon is throwing you. Oh. So maybe I need to also create something like that. Is that what you're saying? Something like that. We can look it up. Yeah, maybe that's a name for the volume. I don't know. Local Couchbase folder where Couchbase fake it. Oh, okay. No. I think, well, I don't know if I need this or not, but so if I were to put some files into a Couchbase folder, it would be mounted inside the image as a /startup folder. So yeah, I don't know if this is right or not. I don't really care where Docker puts that data, as long as it is able to remount it somewhere. So I don't know. That's a good question. We have to figure that out. Okay. All right. So I added Couchbase. The other thing I need to do is back here at this. I need to pass in this information. So I need to give it an environment, and we're going to get to this hopefully today, to tell Hello Microservice to override this setting and point it to Couchbase. And this is the name of the URL here that corresponds directly to this service name here. So if I called this Couchbase foo, this would also have to be Couchbase foo. All right. So that's Docker specifically naming those images within the network there, and depends on Couchbase. So this service itself actually needs to be able to reference Couchbase up there. Okay. Okay. So let's go ahead and save this and see what happens. So it's doing all kinds of crazy stuff here. Well, we got an error. Cannot start service. Couchbase driver failed programming external connectivity on endpoint. Okay, this is because the port number again. So I'm going to change this to 8891 because I'm already running Couchbase. So is that used to pass into the Hello Microservice so I can actually find the Couchbase image? Yes, correct. Exactly correct. And this syntax here corresponds to, and hopefully we'll see it today, corresponds to the way that ASP.NET Core deals with settings, the app settings file. That's a little weird, the way that syntax works, but this is like the Couchbase section, the server's array, and then the first entry in that server's array. That's kind of what that is there. Okay, so let's go ahead and run this and see what happens. Interesting. Okay, so there it is. That's the home page there. And then hopefully this will be accessing 8891. That will be a Couchbase, and it is not. and it's not working. It should be. There it is, 8891. It's 8091. Why is that not coming up? Let me just take a second, update the Couchbase, Docker Compose, and what else did I do? I also updated, yes, update ASP.NET, update the ASP.NET service in Docker Compose YAML file. Under Hello Microservice. Something like that. Okay. I don't know if these steps are right, but I'm just sort of documenting it as I go along. So I can come back next time and do this. But right now it's not working. I'm not actually getting the 8891 isn't doing anything. It is running. It is up and running. 8891. So if I did something wrong with the volume, I would expect this to have not run correctly. But it is. It is running. It's up for 3 minutes now. There it is. 8891. It should be accessible. Even if it took a little bit of while to warm up, to spin up, it should be up by now. Oh, maybe that's the problem. There we go. It was HTTPS. Okay. Make a note of that. Control F5 to run the service. You can access the web page. So the web page should appear. The ASP.NET Core web page should appear in a browser automatically. You can access the Couchbase UI by going to, whoops, oh, I should probably make a note about that port number. Notice that this is HTTP, not HTTPS. The port number, where did I change that? Oh, up here. Notice the port number is 8891. This is because I'm already running another instance locally that uses 891. So probably okay to so probably use 8091 in an actual tutorial blog post, because that's just going to be confusing otherwise. Like, why did you use 8891? Okay, so there we go. And we've got, so thanks to Brandt's script, we've got a cluster already created. It's got a bucket called mat in it. That's interesting because that tells me it found the volume from last time. Huh, okay. Because I don't think I added that last time. So that's good. It's a good sign. I'm going to create another document. Let's just call this one Calvin. The default document there, okay. And we'll create another one called mat2, default document. So now I just kind of want to see if I redeploy or recompile. is this going to be okay? So why don't we go ahead and add some Couchbase to this ASP.NET application. So Couchbase extensions. Dependency injection, yes. Notice that brand per net is over here. Whoops. Zoom it's not on for some reason. This is brand per net right here. So if you're in the .NET world and you're in the Couchbase world, you're going to see brand per net come up a lot. He is definitely one of our top community members. He works for a company, though, called CenterEdge, which just celebrated their 15-year anniversary. Very cool company. Make lots of really fun stuff for amusement parks and things like that. It's very cool. They use a lot of Couchbase there, and .NET and Node and all kinds of great stuff. So definitely congratulations to them. You saw that, probably saw that on Twitter. I retweeted that earlier this week. Okay, so startup. Startup? Yeah, startup, yes. Okay, so we're going to say services dot add Couchbase, I thought. Didn't I add that? Huh? Did I not hit the button? Couchbase extensions. Yeah, I didn't hit the install button. I just zoomed in on brand's name and forgot to install it. Okay, there we go. I got that error message. That's okay because I just left that there. Add Couchbase, and we're going to say configuration dot get section Couchbase. So inside of app settings, I'm going to add a Couchbase section. And in here, we're going to be servers. I remember we got this far last time. Oh. This is just going to be ignored. Probably overridden by what we did here. All right, so this is going to look at that, say Couchbase and servers, and override the very first entry there with this. Okay, that's the idea with that. So then inside home controller, inside index, well, here, oh, the other thing I need to do. How does it know to do that in app settings JSON? Okay, so that is this a Visual Studio thing? I don't think so. So what I think is going on here, if you look at program, and you know, this was something weird last time, but what you can do is you can say, there's something here to do with like use environment. All right, so it's going to use environment variables. That might be the default behavior these days, though. But what this means is when I specify this here, this goes into the environment. See, it goes into an environment variable. And then ASP.NET will look at the environment and override the app settings with those environment settings. So we're passing it in. It's kind of a, we're kind of sort of communicating through environment variables. Environment variables take precedence. I believe so. And you know, when I talked to Brant, he said use, you know, specify in the program here, use environment. Yeah, you did that with Key Vault. Yeah, very similar sort of approach there. Kubernetes has its own built-in secrets thing, and with Docker, it's kind of, this isn't secrets, but yeah, you kind of get the idea there. So I think that's default behavior now. I'm gonna have to look that up. Your chat overlay doesn't appear to be working anymore, by the way. Oh, what? Uh-oh. Chat overlay not working. That's not good. It was earlier. Okay, for some reason it was on invisible. I clicked the chatbot thing, turned it off accidentally. That's weird. Try it again. I can do something. There it goes. Already, we'll do. Yeah, weird. Well, it didn't show yours. It just showed mine. What? You got banned? What? You got banned for what? How can you get banned when you're a moderator? And how can you chat if you're banned? Are you serious that you got banned, or are you just... what's going on here? Let me bring up Twitch. You're just tossing out nonsense. Okay. You're saying you got banned for my chatbot. Yeah, why isn't that chatbot showing you? That's bizarre. I'm showing up. You're not showing up. Anybody else in the chat? Could you throw out a message there? Curious why Calvin's chat isn't showing up. Okay. Well, anyway, I don't know what to do about that. The chatbot is something that's built in the Streamlabs OBS. It's not something I built at all, so I don't know what's happening there. Okay. Anyway, here we go. The other thing I need to do in startup is, and this is going off the documentation, so I'm not just, I didn't just memorize, well, I kind of did memorize this, but I didn't discover this myself. Application lifetime, and then we say application lifetime dot application, see, I can't even remember now. What we need to do is we need to close down the connection when the application closes down. And I can't remember, yes, this is it right here. I haven't quite got this memorized yet. Okay, so let me make some notes here. All right, I'll add Couchbase, dependency, Couchbase extensions, dependency injection to ASP.NET, add services dot add Couchbase, configuration dot get section Couchbase, something like that. Oh, I'm just not copying and pasting this. Add application stopped. Okay, then we'll just use Couchbase within, I don't know, within index controller, within index action in home controller. Okay, and home controller, so we've got iBucket provider. Okay, and we'll just say bucket equals bucket provider dot get bucket, and what was the bucket name? Nope, that's not it. Over here. The bucket was called Matt. Okay. Okay, and we're just going to say bucket dot insert new document. I think I remember getting this far last time. New document ID equals some sort of GUID, and content equals just some sort of object. Foo equals path.getRandom file name bar path.getRandom file name. Okay. Did I add the volume to this? I did not add that volume. Let me make sure to put that in there. Make a note about this. Note on volume. Just want to make a note. I'll kind of learn more about that and explain that later. But okay, we got an exception. Authentication failed for user Matt. Oh, because I forgot to actually authenticate, didn't I? So this will be over here in the app settings. Yes. Username, administrator, password, password. Okay, there's a site. And if I go in here, there's my document. So if I keep refreshing this page, it's going to add a new document each time. And there they are. Okay, fantastic. So that's all working. Right? So I think that's really it. I think I've got it, the Docker part done locally. There's a lot of work that's being done here by, looks like, and I'll take your word for it though. We're going to try some experiments to see if I can break it. But there's a lot of work being done here by Brand's image, this Couchbase fake it image. And I may want to change this to the stock Couchbase image, but let's just see if we can break this first, see what happens. So I'm going to close Visual Studio down. And look at all these Docker images. So, interesting. Interesting, when I close Docker, or when I close Visual Studio, those images are gone. That's really interesting. Okay. So if I load Visual Studio back up, what's going to happen to that data? I got incoming tweets. Oh, just that Penny Arcade thing from yesterday. So I closed Visual Studio. I'm opening it back up again because now it's the next day and I want to change some features. All right, so I'm going to add a new field here to my documents. Oh, it's doing some Docker stuff already. All kinds of Docker stuff going on. Let's just add Baz. It's really chugging away here. Well, at least it was. Okay, there we go. Fire it up. What happens? What I want to happen is that same data that was there before to come back. Okay, so it's again authentication error. Why is that? Is this because it didn't actually yeah, there's no bucket. Okay, so it didn't come back. So I think something wrong here with the volume, which is curious. So let's read more about volume. Docker compose volumes. Okay, there's this colon here. So this might correspond something. So I don't have that for this one. DB data, like that. So I have to give it a name. Named volume is used in service Couchbase, but no declaration was found in the volume section. Huh? Oh. I need to have a volumes section of my Docker Compose. I didn't have that last time. So that's a much better error message. Not in there for brands either. Yeah. Yeah, it wasn't. Okay, this doesn't like something. In line 6, column 3. So that's this here, right? That's... Oh. I do not like white space. I do not like significant white space. It's the bane of my existence. Unsupported config option for services volumes. Much better error message. Unsupported config options. So what else do I need? I don't know. This isn't... I don't think this is quite... Oh, okay. Here we go. Mount host paths or in volumes. Calvin says wait. It's not showing up in the text, but he's saying wait. It's at the same level as services. Oh, okay. Not in it. Oh, okay. Like it should be out here. Like so. Okay, start her up. Hello. Oh, we're still working. Services using volume from the previous container. Host mapping has no effect. Remove the existing containers to use the host volume mapping. Okay. So what does that mean? What am I going to find in there? Oh, I got error messages. Yeah. Because again, this is going to be that brand new one. Yeah, there's no bucket in here. It's expecting to find a bucket named Matt. Which may be fine, right? So we'll create a bucket called Matt. Okay, now if I refresh this, it should work. So add some stuff to the bucket. There it is. Okay, great. So I want to just show this here. We've got hello microservice and Brant's an image of Brant's Couchbase image. So I'm closing down Visual Studio. And what happened last time was these went away. So let's see if that happens again. They did. They went away. Okay. Fine. Now we're opening Visual Studio again. And opening up Hello Microservice. Okay. Docker stuff happening. Control F5. Docker stuff happening. Calvin, I see you have a little first tag next to your name there. It says you're a founder. Okay, so I'm getting this bootstrap message again, which means that bucket probably isn't created. Oops. There's no bucket there. Okay. So it's not, like, whatever is going on with volumes, it's not doing what I want it to do. Do these volumes show up with Docker volume ls? Oh, that's a good question. Docker volume ls. Whoa. Lots of volumes here. Not terribly useful. There's only one with a name. It's this one, db data. Yeah, that's there. There's one that's RavenDB too. That's weird. That's an old one, I'm guessing. There's DB data volume, and so I want these numbers matchups. This is like 6534, 6534. Seems like it should be able to use it, right? So use DB data, opt couchbase var. Seems like that should be the case. Let's go back over to the documentation. Let's see if we can learn something else about this. Yeah, okay. So this is clearly using some sort of Postgres. I'm specifying DB data. That's the folder. DB data is the volume. Oh, here's a short syntax. Specify a path and let the engine create a volume. That seems like what I want to do. Oh, okay. So this is why I wouldn't need a name here, right? I just leave this off. It's a short version. That's what you had to start with, though. Yeah, exactly. And I don't see if it makes a difference. Do I need to give it a name or not? I can specify an absolute path mapping. Path on the host relative to the compose file. So this is what the Couchbase thing is. This one right here. So there's a startup folder. If I wanted to have a startup folder, I could have one here, right? I don't. Use a relative path, named volume. Yeah, named volume. Okay. Well, can I don't know. It seems like that's all I really need is just this. And it would create its own volume for it. And that, I don't know. Yep, so it's still getting that. Because it can't find it. Oh, that's the wrong one. That's my other container right here. Administrator, password, buckets, mat. Add the mat bucket. Add documents to the mat bucket. Fine. Documents are in there. Great. Close Visual Studio, which for some reason will clean up the images. Okay, and there they go. Open Visual Studio. And I would expect it to load the same volume. Docker volume list. There's DB data 1. It's just sort of hanging out there. Okay, hello microservice. Control F5. It's really bothering me. Your chat's not coming up there, Calvin. and mine is. Doesn't make any sense. Waiting to check configs. So yeah, yeah, I don't understand why you're not coming up there. I don't know why the chatbot went off in the first place. Shut down the source when not visible. Here's the stuff I'm looking at. I don't remember unchecking chatbot for whatever reason. That's weird. So it's still not finding it from last time, which is kind of the opposite of how to expect them to work. Unless this is, I don't know, something that Brand's image does. It just wipes it every time. Start it up? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I can switch over to a regular Couchbase image. In which case, I would have to remove this and remove this. And we're going to switch it over to Couchbase. Well, was it a Couchbase Docker? I can't remember the address. Yeah, no, that's not it. That's the GitHub. Yeah, here we go. Okay. So I'm just going to use Enterprise 6-0-2. Why not? No, not that. In a Couchbase 6-0-2. Something like that. Now this, I would expect not to even have a cluster set up. It's just going to be a bare, Couchbase with nothing in it. It's recreating some things, okay. Okay. Yep, I would fully expect this to happen because I haven't actually. This should be the setup screen. No, it's not. What in the world? Because it should not be using brands, so it should be taking me through the setup wizard. Right build? Is it the right build? Oh yeah, here it is, 6.0.2. In the management UI, so that's weird. Unless it's pulling something from that volume still. Right here. Can I delete that volume? Docker volume. I don't know which one to delete. Was it Prune? Docker volume Prune. Let's see what that happens when I do that. So we'll remove all local volumes not used by at least one container. Sure, why not? Let's do that. Yeah, exactly. YOLO. 13 gig reclaimed space. Oh my. So those are all the volumes I have left now. And these are all the images that I have. Or, sorry, no. These are all the images that I have. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11. 11 there. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 there. So each one of these has a volume. That makes sense. Does it not? So if I shut down Visual Studio again, I'm going to go with yes. Makes logical sense, doesn't it? Okay. So now I've got, those images are just straight up gone. Okay. Docker volume list 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Still 11 volumes there. But there's not, whoops. There's not 11 images anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay? So I can say Docker volume prune. It's going to remove, I'm guessing, those 2 volumes. Yep, there we go. Docker volume list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if there were volumes and that was causing the problem, they're gone now. Those volumes are gone. Visual Studio. Hello, Microservice. Okay. We're not using brands anymore, using just stock Couchbase image, which means it has no setup on it. Should be nothing predefined there. Should not have anything, any credentials or anything like that set for it. And this should be creating a new volume, I would assume, when I run this. Got about a half an hour left in the live stream today. Then I got to get off and do some other stuff. But it would be nice if I could get this figured out before the end of this stream. Okay, yep, so it's running, and absolutely there's an exception because, as I said, there's the Couchbase image is totally stock. It's not been set up to do anything yet. And this is what I'd expect, yes. So set up a new cluster. We're going to call this Microservice cluster. I agree. Configure. That's all fine, whatever. Okay. So maybe it found your config data on the volume before, but not the bucket data. I guess, but I wanted to find both. I think so. You know, maybe there's another volume I need to add to this. I don't know. It's possible Brent told me the wrong path, or maybe I asked him the wrong question. Okay, so add a mat bucket here. So at this point now, I should refresh this. This should work. It does. Documents in mat bucket. There we go. Great. Close and well, hang on. 3 total images running. And should be 11 volumes now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 volumes, okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 images, 10 volumes. I'm not actually asking my microservice to have a volume. So that kind of makes sense. Anyway, Docker PS, so there's 3 images, closing Visual Studio. Those should go away. They do. Open Visual Studio. Let me just do a quick volume here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's still 10 volumes, which is what I would expect. What I'd also expect is when I run this for my bucket, my mat bucket to still be there, the data in it to still be there. I would expect all those things. Let's see what happens. Okay. Oh, there it goes. Okay, the volume's gone. So it's asking me to reset it up again. Okay, so I've done something wrong there. I don't know what it is, and I'm at an impasse, I think, right now. So something I probably need to seek help on from perhaps brands or Stack Overflow or something along those lines. Because I would expect this volume. So my guess is this is the wrong volume, or I've done something incorrect with this volume. I don't know what it is. Got to figure that out. So I think I'm going to call it quits for today. Made a lot of progress. I have a lot of notes. The problem I'm having is close Visual Studio. Oh, Mr. Calvin has a question here. Data for Couchbase, assuming Linux is stored at opt Couchbase var lib Couchbase data. Okay, fine, except that this should definitely include that opt Couchbase var. Opt Couchbase var should absolutely include all those subpaths as well. And this is 2014, so it may have changed since then as well. Yeah, this is Couchbase 2.5, so it may have changed since we're on Couchbase 6.5 now. Well, 6.0. So it may have changed since then. Notice the images go away. Open up. Okay, this is going to add some documents to the bucket. Few documents in Couchbase UI. Close VS, notice images go away. Open VS. Run Microservice again. But now documents aren't there. What's happening? Okay. All right. So that's kind of where I'm at. So I have some breadcrumbs for myself to solve this. This is quite a lot to post to a Stack Overflow question. So I probably need to do some more research on this to figure out where my problem is. I hate to keep leaning on Brant, but he's gonna have much better context for answering this question anyway. So I might bother him. But I think that's it for today. We'll shut her down. I think. Let's go and see who we can raid today. Twitch/team/livecoders. Who's online? InstaFluff is still online. Honest Dan Games. The Michael Jolly. CLW. CLW seems like a good one. He's doing some Twilio Quest stuff today, which I think is very cool. So let's go ahead and raid CLW. We don't have much of from the Streamlabs numbers, we don't have much of a raiding party, but be nice to CLW over there. Hit him with some of the raid icons, the bada bing, bada boom. Say hi, and I'll see you over there in a little bit. So we'll click that right off now. I will not be streaming next Tuesday. I will be at All Things Open. So I'll be next Tuesday. Thursday I may be streaming. So a week from today I may be streaming. All right, everybody, have a good one.